What's up, people? Welcome back to Football Insights, where we talk about football related issues concerning transfers, player profile, and other football matters. So, this is a transfer rundown of some of the things that is happening on the transfer market. Mind you, the transfer market or the transfer window has opened for teams in England but not other leagues. So, in England, the transfer market is open for now. Players cannot move from England to overseas, but players can come in from other leagues to England. But when we talk about the French league and other European leagues, the transfer windows will officially opened on the 1st of July. So this is what is happening, and a lot of things are happening. Mind you, this is the transfer window, the summer transfer window, the big one. We all saw what happened in the January transfer window. Splashing money left, right, center, teams splashing money. But in this summer, we are going to see a lot because there is a lot of things going on with some of the teams. Takeover happening at Manchester United. A lot of things. People or teams has to improve their squad and all of that. So a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of big money moves. So we should expect big money moves this summer. So a lot of things are happening on the transfer market, even though it is the early days yet, but still teams are trying to secure their deals early so that the players will go for pre-season, because that is how football is done. You don't wait for teams to get their players and then you get your own at the latter part of the transfer window. Players may not have a good time, a good bond during the pre-season. So we are going to talk about Barcelona, Manchester United, their takeover, and then the transfer targets going into the transfer window or this summer. We are going to talk about Chelsea, of course, a whole lot. So let's get straight into the video. So quickly, let's move to Barcelona. Barcelona, after a failed Messi move, they are trying to recover. They are trying to give their fans something to also rely on. So Barcelona are trying to secure one or two deals in the transfer market. Currently, they need a backup striker. That is one for Lewandowski, because Lewandowski might not play all the games going into next season. So they need a backup striker, someone that they can trust, just like Haaland and Julian Alvarez. You know that Erling Haaland might do a job for you, but when Julian Alvarez also comes, it is a blockbuster performance. So Barcelona are trying to reciprocate, or are trying to create an atmosphere in terms of their striking role. So they need a backup striker. 2, they need a pivot. Xavi recommended that he needs 2 pivots, but I don't think the 2 pivot is realistic, because let's not forget Barcelona is having some financial issues. Talking about their finances, their salary cap, a whole lot. They have a whole lot on their plates. So they are chasing one striker in Brazil, Atletico Paranaense striker called Victor Roque, 18-year-old Brazilian. He's a brilliant player, very good player, good on the ball, a striker, very tough, just 18-year-old Victor Roque. And then, the Atletico Paranaense are demanding for 40 million euros. The transfer market is not favoring some of the European teams, because the Brazilian teams, or the teams in Brazil or teams in South America, has come to realize that when their players move from South America to top European teams, they perform better, and the top European teams gain more money, or they get more profit than them. So this time around, when you are coming for their player, they are going to quote a big money. And that is what it has been happening for the past, let's say, 2 to 3 years now. You look at the money Real Madrid paid for Endrick. Look at the money even Manchester City paid for Julian Alvarez. At first, you might get Julian Alvarez for about 10 million, 11 million from South America. But now, they are also upping their money or upping their amount. So this came from last 2 days, that was on Monday, a news came out that Barca or Victor Roque to Barca is a done deal. Barca has already completed the move for Victor Roque, but that was not true. Negotiations. This is from Relevo. Negotiations with Atletico Parmenense for Victor Roque are indeed on the right track. So they are having a negotiation with Atletico Parmenense. Mind you, they want 40 million. Barca are not willing to pay the 40 million, but they are trying to negotiate in and around 30 to 35 million. So Barca could sign the Brazilian starlets for 30 to 35 million. So that is the amount quoted by Barcelona. They want to sign the player for 30 million or 35 million. But Atletico Parmenense want 40 million. So I think they can come to a compromise here. They can do something. So this came from Relevo, and then Fabrizio Romano continued by saying that Victor Roque is waiting for Barcelona. So the player prioritized Barcelona. The first choice for the player is Barcelona. So and that is why Victor Roque is waiting for Barcelona. He dreams of Barca and he wants to move since a long time, but the negotiations are still ongoing. So it means Victor Roque wants Barca. And mind you, a lot of clubs in Europe, especially in England, specifically Arsenal, are trying to negotiate with. They appreciate the player, all right, but they are not. He is not their primary target, or he is not their top target for now. Arsenal are chasing one player. We will talk about Arsenal. So Victor Roque, a fine player, a starlet, a gem, but he wouldn't come for cheap. And right now, Barcelona doesn't have the financial capacity unless they put one or two things together. So Atletico Parmenense's striker Victor Roque for Barcelona is still on. We will bring you more update on this player. So let's move to another position, which is the pivot that Xavi recommended. And then Barcelona, this came from DBR8. Barcelona are looking for João Palhinha and Fiorentino Luis as plan B target for the pivot position. The plan A target is Martin Zubimendi, who plays for Real Sociedad in Spain. But the plan B is João Palhinha and Fiorentino Luis as the plan B targets for the pivot position. And this came from DBR8, a very reliable source in terms of Spanish news. And then I don't understand why Martin Zubimendi is their first target and Palhinha, a senior player, a player who has a lot of potential, even though he is a little bit old, is the plan B. I don't get it. But I get what Xavi is trying to do. Xavi has a way of playing his football. So he feels Martin Zubimendi is the right guy for his pivot position. And that is why Palhinha is the plan B. But this Palhinha will go for around 50 to 55 million pounds. And that is like 60 million euros or 65 million euros. He wouldn't go for cheap. I don't know whether Fulham is going to limit their price because the team is coming from Spain, or because the team is coming outside England. Because people do this, or teams do that a lot. So a typical example is Hurricane. When a team in England is coming from Hurricane, best believe Daniel Levy is going to quote an amount of 200 to 250 million pounds, not euros, pounds. But when a team is coming from outside England, he will quote an amount of 100 million, 150 million euros. So that is how the transfer window, or that is how some teams do their deals. I don't understand, but that is how they do their deals. So Palhinha and Florentino Luis as the plan B targets for the pivot role for Barcelona. And they are trying to work some things out. As I said earlier, Messi to Barcelona was not a good idea, in my opinion, because I don't know what Messi is coming to do at Barcelona currently. Because he might not help them in the sporting aspect, but he might help them in the marketing aspect. And Barcelona is a sporting club, not a marketing club. So this is what is happening in Barcelona. Quickly, let's move to Manchester United. They are since say Jasin try to buy Manchester United or try to take over the ownership of Manchester United, a lot is happening. A lot is happening, and then one thing Manchester United fans should realize or should know is that this takeover, the Qatari Ineos Group takeover should come early if they want to perform in the transfer window or if they want to sign big names in the transfer window. The takeover should be early as much as possible for the money to come, for them to use the money to sign a lot of players, because what they are currently doing now is selling and buying. They don't have a typical huge sums of money that they will use in the transfer window. They want to sell and buy. That is what Manchester United are relying on right now. And the transfer window, within a split of seconds, things can happen, things can change. So quickly, let's talk about their target for this summer. And this came from Chris Hewler. Chris Hewler said Manchester United's target for this summer is a striker, a midfielder, and a goalkeeper. And this is the priority this summer: a midfielder, a typical striker, and a goalkeeper this summer. In the goalkeeping department, they are targeting Diogo Costa of FC Porto, a top goalkeeper. He can play very well with his leg. The passing ability is insane, but it needs money because he has a release clause of around 68 to 75 million euros, and this is a release clause. When release clause is different from a negotiated price or a negotiated fee, because the release clause, you go and pay the release clause as it is stated in his contract. By a negotiated fee, you can amortize the fee. So midfielder, striker, goalkeeper for Manchester United this summer. This is their target, and this came from Chris Hewler. Striker, midfielder, goalkeeper, the priority this summer for Manchester United. New centre back, Wenger would be dependent on players being sold. So Chris Hewler is saying that new centre back and a Wenger would be dependent on players being sold. Already, there is some news that Villarreal are coming in for Jadon Sancho and all of that. And then Kim Min-jae is also another centre back that we should look out for. Manchester United are chasing him, the Napoli centre back. But this particular deal will depend on whether Harry Maguire will leave Manchester United or not. So he's very crucial. Harry Maguire is very crucial, both on and off the pitch for Manchester United. Their captain, the top man. I know they are going to get angry, but it is what it is. Harry Maguire's move will be key for Kim Min-jae's incoming. So that is what Chris Wheeler is saying. So the article or the tweet goes on to say that this is coming from Alex Crook. Mason Mount wants to join Manchester United and has no intention of signing a new contract with Chelsea. Alex Crook said this. Mason Mount's relationship with the Chelsea board and the Chelsea fans is a little bit of a toxic relationship right now. So I don't think Mason Mount will extend his contract, but if he extends as a Chelsea fan, I'll be happy. If he doesn't extend and he wants to move to Manchester United, fine. Because we have Christopher Nkunku who is coming in to come and take over the attacking midfield role for Chelsea. So Chelsea should try as much as possible to get a lot of money in this Mason Mount deal. So Mason Mount wants to join Manchester United. I think we all know this. It is a concrete news. Matt Law tweeted that Manchester United has had a £40 million bid rejected by Chelsea. So Mason Mount, Chelsea rates or Chelsea values Mason Mount around £70 million. That's like 80 million euros. But Manchester United are not willing to pay the £70 million. Now, so they sent a first bid of 40 million, and this bid got rejected by Chelsea immediately. And of course, you just know Chelsea are going to reject that 40 million because values the player at least 70 million pounds. That is 80 million euros. So that 40 million is more like an insult to Chelsea, and that is why they rejected the bid as early as possible. So Macy Mount to Manchester United is on, and then Fabrizio Romano said that it is, of course, Manchester United has had a bid rejected by Chelsea, 40 million, but they will try again. They will try to attack the situation again in the next days. So we should expect more of Macy Mount to Manchester United news, because Manchester United are going to attack the deal in the next days, because the midfield role is a priority for Manchester United. So let's move to Kim Min-jae. Manchester United remains in the race for Kim Min-jae, but nothing has been agreed, as stated earlier on, because last week we heard some news that Kim Min-jae has agreed a fee, or Napoli has agreed a fee to sell Kim Min-jae to Manchester United. It is a done deal and all of that, but Fabrizio Romano is saying that nothing has been agreed yet, but they remain in the race. Manchester United are in the race, and then FC Bayern Munich are also interested in Kim Min-jae as one of their options for the new centre back role, because Lucas Hernandez will be moving, so they need a replacement for Lucas Hernandez, and that is why Kim Min-jae is one of their priority, or one of their targets in Bayern Munich or Bayern Munich. So it is a race between Manchester United and Bayern Munich for Kim Min-jae, the Napoli defender. So this is about Manchester United. I think the takeover is very key, whether they are going to perform or they are not going to perform in the transfer window, as I said earlier. But before you move away from Manchester United, let's check out their striking options, or their striking role. What is it about their striking position or their striking role? What are the players they are chasing for now? So this came from Chris Euler as well. Manchester United won't meet the asking price for Harry Kane, and the asking price is 100 million pounds for Harry Kane. As I said earlier on, selling a player like Harry Kane to a rival club in England is not going to go for cheap, as compared to selling Harry Kane outside England. So the quoted amount here is 100 million pounds for Harry Kane. Manchester United won't meet the asking price for Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen, and then the quoted amount here is 120 million pounds. So Victor Osimhen is even way expensive than Harry Kane. And Napoli, how they do their deals, and they will drain you. So yes, but there's one player that we should look out for in this summer in terms of the striking role, and that player is Rasmus Højlund. He plays for Atalanta, a very a Norwegian who plays for Atalanta, a very young striker. He is good. A lot of teams are chasing him. Chelsea are chasing him. Man U are chasing him. A lot of teams are chasing Rasmus Højlund. So he's one player we should look out for. And then Chris Wheeler said Rio Haaland is a more realistic target for Manchester United, because he is rated, or he is valued at 40 to 60 million pounds, and then it is more affordable, more like an affordable player as compared to Harry Kane and Victor Osimhen. So this is the situation, or this is some of the news that is happening in Manchester United. Quickly, let's move to Chelsea. A lot of things are happening in Chelsea, and then Chelsea needs to offload players. A lot. They are going to offload about approximately 13 to 16 players this summer. Chelsea are going to offload them. And then Chelsea met with Inter Milan yesterday, and then the players they discussed about was 1. Andre Onana, the goalkeeper for Inter Milan. 2. Kalidou Koulibaly. 3. Edouard Mendy. 4. Romelu Lukaku, the big fish. 5. Denzel Dumfries. So, and then to an extent, they also discuss about Trevor Chalobah, because Inter Milan has an interest in Trevor Chalobah. So they discuss a whole lot. And then from Fabrizio Romano, he said the Inter Milan director is still in London. So it means they didn't finish the meeting yesterday. They are going to continue the meeting today and tomorrow, and then in the next weeks to come, because these are a lot of players that they will be discussing, or they will be trying to strike a deal about them. So it, of course, it is going to take a time. So Inter Milan has an interest in Khalid Koulibaly. And then Inter Milan, I feel Inter Milan are being too disrespectful. And then at this point, I will wear my Chelsea glass. Inter Milan are being too disrespectful to Chelsea, because what happened? We bought Romelu Lukaku from you for about 180 million euros just last 2 years. And then he came, it didn't work. We loaned it back to you guys. You paid a loan fee, just less than £9 million. And then you want Romelu Lukaku on loan again. Then Chelsea are not having it. And then another reason why I am saying Inter Milan are being too disrespectful to Chelsea is the Kalidou Koulibaly deal. If you want Kalidou Koulibaly, just come and pay for Kalidou Koulibaly. A loan fee is never an option for Chelsea. And then this tweet came from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have told Inter Milan they have no plans. I repeat, no plans to accept loan deals for Romelu Lukaku and Kalidou Koulibaly at this stage. Talks between clubs will continue in order to find a solution. Players' position will be also crucial to understand how to proceed. So Chelsea are not willing to loan players to Inter Milan again, especially when it comes to Kalidou Koulibaly and Romelu Lukaku. So Inter Milan proposed a loan deal for Kalidou Koulibaly and Romelu Lukaku, but Chelsea immediately rejected the bid, or rejected the loan fee or the loan bid. It is never an option for Chelsea. And then Romelu Lukaku is also keen, or is also trying to stay at Inter Milan. That has always been his first choice. For Romelu Lukaku, it is Inter Milan or nothing. But I saw some news from somewhere that one of the Saudi clubs are trying to, especially Al Hilal, are trying to tempt Romelu Lukaku. But it looks like he is asking for exorbitant amount of salary, or he is asking for a huge salary, and then Al Hilal are not willing to pay that kind of money. So it even came out that the negotiation between Romelu Lukaku and the Saudi club is off for now, because he is demanding for exorbitant amount of money that the club is not willing to pay. But Chelsea has to offload these kind of players, because we have to trim down the squad for about 25 to 26 squad for Mauricio Pochettino to have a good environment, a serene environment, a good dressing room to work to our advantage. If you really want to perform next season, we have to trim down the squad. A lot of players has to move in Chelsea. So this is what happened. And then Chelsea also asked for Andrew Onana in this particular deal, this particular meeting that they had with Inter Milan. They asked about Onana, and then a high amount was mentioned in the meeting, and Chelsea are not ready to pay high amount of money. For example, 80 to 70 million or 70 to 90 million for Andrew Onana. That is never going to happen. Let's come to Chelsea again, because it looks like Arsenal has an interest in Kai Havertz. Or this came from Sammy Mokbel, that Chelsea are open to offering Kai Havertz a new deal, but his wages on new term would likely to be less money. Arsenal are willing to offer a similar basic salary he is currently earning at Stamford Bridge. And then he continues by saying Arsenal are hopeful they can strike a deal closer to £60 million, inclusive of add-ons. It is very key. £60 million inclusive of add-ons. But Chelsea rates Kai Havertz, or Chelsea values Kai Havertz at £75 million. So it is understood they are willing to pay the German international in an excess of £200,000 a week to sign the player. Importantly, Havertz is keen on the move across London if Arsenal and Chelsea can reach an agreement over a transfer fee. Havertz is aware of Arsenal's interest. This came from Sammy Mogbo, and a very reliable journalist. He is one of the chief editor in Daily Mail in England. So Kai Havertz to Arsenal is also on. Personally, I want him to be sold. Personally, that is what I want. But let's wait and see what will happen about the Kai Havertz deal. So people, this is what we have about Chelsea. This brings us to the end of the video. This is your transfer rundown. We'll be bringing you more updates in the transfer market. I know this video will be very long, but you should cope with me because we wanted to cover a whole lot of news that is happening in the European transfer market. So this is your video for the day. Make sure you like the video, make sure you click on the subscribe button, turn the push notification bell so that anytime we upload, you will be the first person to receive it. This is Football Insights. My name is Kobo, and this is your transfer rundown video. Thank you so much for your time.